These are the earrings we're going to make. Really love this design because it's really quick and easy to make. And here it is in another color. So let's talk about the materials we're going to need. For these earrings, you're going to need 14mm Rivoli crystals, 1 per earring. You're also going to need number 3 check bugle beads and number 5 check bugle beads. So those are 7mm and 11mm long bugle beads. You're also going to need 11O Toho seed beads in both a base color and an accent color, as well as 15O seed beads in the base color, and also a couple of 6 or 8 Toho seed beads to feed the jump rings through to attach the ear hooks. So let's get started. Because I'm working with 15O seed beads, I have a size 12 needle, and I'm using 6-pound fire line, and I'm going to start by adding on 3 11Os, the base, accent base, and the longer bugle, number 5. So I'll string that on, and I want to do that 4 times. 3 11Os and a bugle. Three 11Os and a bugle. And 3 11Os and a bugle. And now I've got that strung on. I want to tie a knot to form a loop. And I want to try to make it as tight as I can. After I've tied my knot, I want to go back around. So I'm going to go through the 3 seed beads again. And the bugle, the seed beads. And as I pull, the knot is moving underneath the bugle, which is what I want. Through the bugle, through the seed beads, through the bugle, and the seed beads. Before I go through the last bugle, I probably want to pull so the end is all the way inside the beads, just to hide it. So then I go through the last bugle, and then 2 more seed beads so that I'm coming out of the accent 11O. Now we're ready to start the next part. String on 3 15Os, the shorter bugle, and 15Os. That's the number 3 bugle. String that on and go through the next accent bead in the corner. We'll repeat that all the way around. 3 15s, short bugle, 3 15s, going through the next accent corner. Three 15s, bugle, 3 15s, going through the next accent bead in the corner. Three 15s, a bugle, and 3 15s, going through the accent corner. Now that I've done all 4 sides, I want to kind of pull it tight, and I want to continue through the next 3 15 seed beads and short bugle and the 15 after it. Pull that tight, and now we're ready for the next step. add an accent 11-0 and go through the 15 before the bugle and the bugle itself and the 15 after the bugle. Again, add an accent 11-0, going through the 15, the bugle, and the 15. Adding an 11-0 accent color, going through the 15 before the bugle, and the 15 after the bugle. Adding the accent 11-0, going through the 15 before the bugle, and the 15 after. And I've done this part. I want to pull it tight. Now that I'm coming out of this 15 after the bugle, I want to go up through these two 15s that are next to it. And I want to go through the outer accent now in the corner. And I want to go through the seed bead before the outer bugle and the seed bead after. Here I'll add a base color 11-0 and go through the seed bead before the outer bugle, and the seed bead after. Repeat that all the way around. Adding an 11-0, going through the seed bead, bugle, and seed bead. Adding an 11-0, going through the seed bead, outer bugle, seed bead. Adding 11-0, going through seed bead, bugle, and the next two seed beads, 1 and 2 in this corner. Okay. Next step is to string on an 11-0, a 6 or 8, and an 11-0. This will be the top of the earring, so we're going to string that on, and we're going to go back through that corner seed bead and the 3 we just put on. And we'll go back through that corner seed bead. And we'll go through the next seed bead and bugle and seed bead. Now to get ready for the next step, we're going to go through the outer accent bead here. We're going to repeat what we did here. This is actually, this inner loop is going to be the back, and we're going to make the front one now, which is the same. Adding 3 15s, the short bugle, and the 3 15s. And we're going to go through the outer accent bead. Repeat that around. Just take our jump ring and we open it. We feed it through that 6 or 8 seed bead at the top. Add the ear hook and close it. That is the finished earring. 15, short bugle, 15, going through the outer accent bead. Three 15s, bugle, 3 15s, going through the next outer accent bead. Three 15s, bugle, 3 15s. And then we're going to go through that outer accent bead again, where we started. And to get ready for the next step, we're going to continue through the next set of 3 15s, the bugle, and 1 15 after that. We're going to pull that tight to get ready for the next step. Next we put on an accent, 11-0, and we want to go through the next 15 that's before the bugle, and the 15 after the bugle, just like we did on the other in the back, the other inner row. Add an 11-0 accent and go through the seed bead before the bugle, and the 15 seed bead after the bugle. Okay, I've done 2 of them. I'm going to do a third before I put the Rivoli in. Adding an 11 accent, going through the 15 before the bugle, and the 15 after. Okay, before I do the last one, here I'll insert the Rivoli crystal and pull this nice and tight to secure it. We'll put in the last 11-0 accent and go through the 15 before the bugle, and the 15 after the bugle. We want to keep this as tight as we can. I'm going to go around one more time just to reinforce and make sure it stays tight through the accent. Seed bead, bugle, seed bead, through the accent, through the seed bead, bugle, seed bead, through the accent, through the seed bead, bugle, seed bead, pulling tight as I go, through the accent, and through the 15, bugle, 15. Since I've gone around a couple times, or gotten it to be really stable, I'm going to tie a knot here. I'm going to put my needle underneath the thread here between these 15s. Go through the loop once, through the loop twice, and tighten. Then I'll snip this end off. And that is the finished piece. We just need to add the ear hook. Just take our jump ring and we open it. We feed it through that 6 or 8 seed bead at the top. Add the ear hook and close it. That is the finished earring. And this is the completed pair.